All right, everybody, I think it's time we got started. So let me do a little bit of housekeeping before we dive into what it is that you've actually come here for today. First of all, thank you very much for spending your Saturday morning with me. If indeed you're here for the live version, if you're listening to the replay of this, then that's a lack of effort on your part. But for everyone else, well done. You made it on a Saturday morning. Let me make sure, so some of you are going to be brand new to webinars with me, maybe to the GoToWebinar platform. So I just want to take a moment to sort of show you around probably some sort of interface that you've got there, your phone screen or your computer screen, depending on how you're tuning in. So I am hoping, as I'm saying all of this, that you can hear me. You will notice that there is a box which is a questions box, and that is going to be the best way for you to communicate with me throughout the webinar today. The reason why that's the best modality is because if I took all of you off of mute, then I would have all of your background noise coming through my computer and then playing back out to everybody here. If you decide to tell the dog off, for example, then the whole world's going to end up hearing it. So I'm going to be keeping all of you on mute today, but you can use the questions box to send me over messages or indeed questions. So just to make sure that you can hear me okay, could you send me over a yes in the questions box so that I know that you can hear me, and hopefully that you can see my screen too. Well done, Amber. Amber got in there first. And I will shortly put my video on as well, so you'll also be able to see me and the computer screen at the same time. Well done, Sophia. Good stuff. Knowing that you two can hear me makes me assume that everybody else can as well, and if they can't, that's probably a technical issue on their end and not mine, so I'm not going to worry about it. Let me just have a look at my sharing settings. So you've got my screen there, and then if I hit this button, hopefully, as if by internet magic, I have appeared too. Hopefully. So let me just make sure that everyone can see me. View everyone. View presenter. Let's go with that one because I don't need to see all of you guys as well. So if you have had a notification come up to ask to start sharing your webcam, don't worry, you don't need to do that. I bet you're all sat there in your pajamas as well. So yeah, that is my webcam. So, and hopefully that should record as well, because I've done one of these online webinars before, a discovery day rather, and everyone could see me at the time, but then it wasn't on the recording, and that was actually very unfortunate because it was right in the middle of lockdown, and so the street was completely quiet. There was no traffic out the front here at all, and some ducks randomly walked up the street, and it was the highlight of my day, and I showed everyone on the video, and then it wasn't on the recording, and then it looked like I was just a crazy person. So anyway, it's a bit busier out there. It probably won't be as exciting to show you the view today. So I've told you about screen sharing. I've told you that I'm keeping you on silent. I've told you about the questions box, which is good. Speaking of ducks and other distractions, there is a chance there may be some. So today I am here at NLP for Kids HQ, so it's our main office. There's a chance there might be an Amazon delivery. There's a chance my cat might rock up because he quite likes to visit me at work sometimes throughout the day. If he hears my voice, he'll probably just spring in through the window behind me. So there's a chance of that happening too. What else might happen? We shouldn't have a fire drill because I'm not planning one. Yeah, so just know, you know, we're not at a conference centre today, so there isn't that sort of incubated security of the day, knowing that, you know, people aren't going to interrupt and all of that jazz. That could happen today. I think last time I did an online discovery day, my auntie decided to FaceTime me and it flashed up on my screen and all of it. That kind of stuff can happen. What else did I want to tell you about today? So yes, I will do my best to keep the distractions to a minimum, and I will do my best to keep my timings on point for today, meaning that so I'm aiming to get wrapped up at around midday. last time what happened was there was a good few people who wanted to sort of hang around and ask some additional questions. That's absolutely fine. So I will do my best to stay with you until I've kind of squeezed out all of the questions that you wanted to ask from you, and I have got those answered for you. All right, so Jennifer is saying she can hear me, but the reception comes in and out. That is probably going to be an issue with your Wi-Fi and not mine, because we're on like super fast, like mega awesome, super expensive Wi-Fi here. So maybe just move a bit closer to your router. Or another tip is to not use Wi-Fi, but to actually use a wired connection instead. So if your router is in a place like mine is just here, so that's why I know mine's really good. If your router's somewhere feasible for you to access it, then get yourself an Ethernet cable and plug your computer into your Wi-Fi, into your router, sorry, rather than using the Wi-Fi. That will make your connection stronger, and then hopefully you will have a more enjoyable webinar experience with me today. Technical tips from Gemma. All right, so today I'm going to take you through a series of slides. They're the exact same ones that I would be using if this were a live discovery day at our conference venue. And some of them, obviously, I'll skip through a bit quicker because we won't necessarily be doing the full activities that would ordinarily be associated to them. And I will show you the manuals. In fact, let me show you the office, because you know what? If this were a discovery day at our conference venue, it's not here. So it's very rare, even for some of our practitioners that have been with me for decades, still have never been to this office, because we normally run the training elsewhere. So let me give you the tour. So this is my desk, this is where I sit. So if I start at the front of the building, hopefully you don't get seasick. So we are on a high street. There's actually not a huge amount on the other side of the road there. So we're in a parade just along here. The main town is down that way. Around the corner up this way, it goes to our old town high street, which is very quaint and pretty. We moved in here 6 years ago. Yeah, it was 6 years ago. So there's a few companies that operate from this building. We have People Building, which you can't see the logo for up there because the blinds are up. Obviously NLP for Kids, the Hypnotherapy Clinic, and there is one more, which is Superheroes. And then this is kind of where parents would come in and wait and sit at the sofa area just here whilst I am doing sessions with their child. We've got our big wall map up here, which hopefully you can see, and that details where all of the NLP for Kids practitioners are located, so that when we do get an inquiry coming in, then I can find the geographically nearest. We'll talk about a little bit later, because some of that information is slightly changing since we've gone online, but certainly the right practitioner for them. When I see clients, we're in this little therapy space here, so that's my chair just there, the black one, and then the client gets to sit in the nice comfy beige recliner over there, and then we've got our bathroom and kitchen just through there. And then this room here is quite special. So this is the Superheroes training room, and that bit's peeling off, it's annoying. It goes down, I can't really show you because the Wi-Fi will trip out, but I've got a photo to show you later. So down that sort of corridor, it looks like it goes down into sort of a dark gloomy place. It's actually our basement room. So we had the basement renovated a couple of years ago, and it's been renovated into a training space slash cinema room for me. And so, yeah, we've had some of our practitioners, the ones that have been here, have typically been here to do training downstairs in the basement. So we have a big screen, projector fitted into the ceiling, and then we've run some workshops for young people down there as well. So we can take up to 6 young people to do the workshops with us, you know, kind of as and when we do stuff downstairs. So yeah, that's our physical space, and I'm just going to have a little jiggle around with my desk here, because I'm going to try and raise you up a little bit so that you can potentially not get so much light bouncing around as I'm talking to you today. Yeah, so I moved here from a serviced office 6 years ago. I bought this building. There's a level below the level that we're on now. There are 3 levels above as well. And yeah, the whole thing is mine. So it's a really nice spot. And I remember when I bought this building, one of our NLP for Kids practitioners, in fact, said to me, oh, I don't know about this, Jo, I don't know if this is a good idea. And I said, why not? And he said, well, nobody's ever put NLP on the high street before. I just don't know if that's going to work. And I was like, well, what's the worst case scenario? This is primarily going to be my office. If, you know, the fact it's on the high street is kind of irrelevant. Anyway, we, you know, obviously got it all set up. It was a hairdresser's when I moved in, so it needed a little bit of renovation. And yeah, within the first week, I remember someone coming to the door and just sort of saying, what do you do? And then I explained it, and they were like, oh, okay. And I just started to think, you know what, I actually think being on the high street is a good idea. Don't worry, I'm not going to insist that you all buy high street premises. But the point being, normally, you know, with the sort of work that we do, we would ordinarily be locked away in a little service office somewhere or a back bedroom kind of thing. Yeah, I think as far as I know, we were the first organisation to physically put NLP on the high street. And the Association of NLP, so the ANLP, some of you will be familiar with, are actually also in Hemel Hempstead. It's nothing to do with me. It's purely coincidental. There's a whole other story I can tell you about how I accidentally bumped into them one day. Yeah, this town is a bit of an NLP hub in some way. So I think people are, you know, reasonably comfortable and familiar with it on that basis. So we do get people that sort of walk past, you see them read the signage on the windows, kind of slow down, walk off, and then very often they'll walk backwards and come back into view again, and then they'll come in and say, you know, what do you do? Can you help me? And I've actually had, not just for myself, but for some of the other local practitioners as well, quite a few people that have just been walk-ins who have translated into paying clients. So, you know, it's an interesting set of circumstances. Anyway,